To order. Want to do roll call, Mike?
Sam Bosson,
Here.
Donna Maxon,
Here.
Christine Murphy. Ryan Pazart, Sarah Collington, Joel Tucker,
Here.
Mike Strino, here.
Any public comments on agenda items? No public here. Any public comments on non-agenda items? No public, okay. Any amendments to our agenda tonight? Nope, I don't see any.
I can't actually make an amendment, but
Okay.
can I say something that I won't
Yes.
be able to report on at this point?
Yes, you may make an
So
agenda.
I intended on giving a pool pass update through the end of May, and something happened when they tried to run the report. There was a glitch of some kind, so I don't have that with me tonight. So I can email it to you guys if you'd like, or I can just report on it next month.
We will move. Somebody want to make
It's the third.
amendment to move the pool pass update to next month? Anyone?
I'll
wanna
make the motion.
Okay.
Where's the pool pass update? Won't the pool pass update just be, there's no update?
Well, there is an update, I just don't have the update.
So she'll have May and June
Yes.
Second,
next meeting.
Can you get a second?
Ryan, Mike.
Mike seconded, okay. We will move it to the July meeting then.
do we have to say aye?
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Has been moved. Any other amendments to our agenda tonight?
No.
Okay. Did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Vote on it.
Aye.
All aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Has been moved. Yay. Department staff updates. We'll have Recreation Division Assistant Dina.
Okay. Adult and senior program update. 19 programs, 311 participants for the month of May. Compared to in 2024, we had 16 programs and 273 participants. So we're up again this month. Summer camp started on June 2nd. Summer camp revenue is at $137,493. In 2024, it was $102,351. Revenue includes adventure, junior adventure, mini adventure, and as well as the before and after care registrations. Junior adventure and adventure camp, week 1 had 74 participants compared to 45 last year. Week 2 had 75 participants compared to 49 last year. So those numbers are up also. We had a new class, new ceramics class that took place in the month of May. We had 4 participants in that class, but it's a contractor, and it's a percentage that we pay so we can run the classes with a smaller attendance. Summer basketball is underway with 86 players. We had 61 in 2024. We're hosting games on Sundays, and we have practices during the week here at the rec center. Our practices during the week at the rec center has reduced pickleball options here, unfortunately. Hopefully, once we get the courts done outside, people will still be able to play here in this nice weather. But we have to practice here. Even if we wanted to, we couldn't get into the schools because they're not open during the summer. Adult drop-in tennis started June 9th. And youth tennis will begin on June 16th. Adult co-rec summer volleyball had 16 participants the first night at the rec center. We're very excited about that. And we had about an even male to female numbers for that. We're starting a new session of adult pickup co-rec basketball on July 13th. We maxed out for this session, so we went ahead and offered another one. And we will have 180 Sports will handle athletic clinics all summer long for youth. Fitness, 263 non-member participants. So these are people that don't have a membership but are coming to fitness the week of Free Fitness Week. So we're hoping to get some of those 263 and turn those into members. We've conducted 21 fitness center orientations. This is where we have one of the trainers holds classes, I think for up to 5 or 6 people at a time, and shows them how to use all the equipment or specifically something that they have a question on in the fitness center. It is optional for adults, but it is mandated for youth members. And this is all through the end of May. 11 one-hour sessions of personal training have been purchased. And we brought a new staff member on for personal training, and group fitness. So that should, we needed someone, so we're happy that we were able to secure someone quickly. First session of yoga in the park at Cortese Park maxed out at 40 participants, and I believe we had 2 nights where it rained, so we had to bring them inside, unfortunately. Aquatics. We have 28 lifeguards that are certified and 11 pool ambassadors, and we're in the process of hiring another additional pool ambassador. We have 4 WSIs. Those are water safety instructors. Those are the folks that teach the Learn to Swim classes, and 4 BSIs and 10 Learn to Swim aides. BSI is a basic swim instructor. The requirements for that class aren't as strict as they are for the WSI. We received a grant through the DuPage County Health Department called Project Swimmers 10M to give out free swim lessons for 30 preschoolers ages 3 to 5. Applications are being accepted now, and we'll see how that turns out and how many people we have that are interested. Mariner swim team has a home swim meet June 7th against Glendale Heights. That was against Glendale Heights, I'm sorry, and they won 374 to 189 on June 7th. The annual Villa Park Fishing Derby was held at North Terrace Park Lagoon on June 7th. Had a great crowd for that, over 200 people in attendance.
Wow.
And if you get a chance to get on Instagram, I know for sure, it probably is on Facebook too, there are some great pictures of kids. There's this little girl holding this tiny fish, smiling. It's like she's so proud of herself. A lot of good pictures, really shows the attendance for that. We had a nice day for it as well. We are training Learn to Swim instructors and aides. That is being held this week at Jefferson Pool. And then swim lessons begin on June 16th. We continue to receive registrations around early childhood for preschool. That would start in September. Through June 9th, we have 40. Last year, we had 20, so that's doubled. Recreation program participants through May 31st. Total participants, including our open gyms, 6,051 through May 31st. Last year, through May 31st, 2,467. So we've more than doubled that, which is very, very, very exciting. We will move on to memberships. We have 1,430 memberships for a total of $190,901, and we have 81 employee memberships. And the total of memberships and participants, bless you, 7,562, total revenue, $556,285. So that's great.
What was the number for residents? 7,000 what?
It's the total of memberships and participants combined, 7,562. That's
62.
memberships and people that registered for programs. And the revenue is $556,285. Events. Summer concerts started on June 5th. We had about 700 people here for Petty Cash. It was just a fantastic turnout. And we have Summer Festival that will be Saturday, June 21st. We're still looking for some volunteers to help out in the beer garden. So if anybody has a desire to do that, please contact me. Middle of the day seems to be where we have the most opportunity. We have a handful of people for the first shift, and we have quite a few people for the last shift, which is what we need. But we're scattered during the middle of the day. So, and that concludes my report.
Anyone have questions?
The Grant Project swimmer, you said it's like a beginner swim and it's free
It is.
for the first 33 to 5-year preschoolers?
Yes, we received
Okay.
the money from the county.
Okay, thank you.
Where is that publicized? That our new grant? Is it publicized anywhere?
It is publicized, and we have such good people doing publicity that I know I see it, but I can't remember where I saw it. It's advertised. It should be on our social media.
It's on our
Yeah.
the social media for
And I
the
think,
regular,
for sure, it's there.
through the village site, is that what you're talking about, or the rec and?
Well, we're
Parker.
part of the, we're.
Right,
yeah,
but I
it's-
know we got it. yeah,
Oh, I'm
two
sorry.
different
It would
types.
be the villages, and sometimes it's copied then onto just the recreation
Okay.
department.
And the Summerfest, what vendors have we have?
I think we're up to 37. We had a meeting
37
today.
37 vendors?
Uh-huh.
And how many of the food things have we got set up?
Food, we have, I have that right here.
And does that go until, is it open until the day of, or is there a deadline that you have
Well,
for the vendors?
we have a certain amount of space for vendors, so I think that's
He's 38.
38, so we're
So
close
there's
to being.
38 spaces
Yeah.
for vendors? Okay, so we've got one space left, sounds like.
Pretty close, yeah. We're good.
Yeah, okay.
Food vendors, we have Firewater, Michael Anthony's, Flavor Frenzy, Molcajete, Spoon Burger, 5. 5 food vendors.
5 food vendors, okay.
It's all solid.
They are solid. Yeah, we're very happy with the response. We had a meeting today, went over some details, layout, and so forth. So we'll meet one more time next week, and then the event is the following Saturday.
Do you have the bands?
Yes. Did you want me to give you a list of the bands?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Should be here. Oh, in addition to the bands, which I will give you, well, I'll give you those now. So first is Jeannie B, great children's entertainer. We have Seven Soul, that's closing things out at 8:30. The Cave Dwellers, right before them. Granville, 4:45 to 5:45. The Force, the Webbers, and Eleanor Kuykendall in the middle of the day, and then Jeannie B is first.
Okay.
We did get some different entertainment for activities for the kids. So we got a big slide this year, one of those, you go down on the potato sack. And we have the trackless train, which I think we had one other year. And we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to bring out a couple of our basketball hoops that are traveling, like you see in people's driveways, and a small soccer net, and we'll have some activities that the kids can do. With
Release their
with
energy.
wristband. Yeah, they can kick through those. Did I miss anything?
Any other questions for Lena? Nope. Okay, then we will move on to Parks, Buildings, and Ground Division. Brian?
All right, thank you. Some current completed projects. Village Hall, and I've been mentioning for a while now, the IT office. We're a step closer again. We expect to have the drawings completed and back to us by Monday from the architect. We'll get those approved right away and then begin working again in the upper level of Village Hall to finalize the IT office and the transition for them in the facility. The elevator modernization over at Village Hall, all of the contract documents have been returned to the TK elevator. We're waiting for, they got to come out and do a final survey of the elevator and all components and things like that that we're doing with them. We also have to pay them the initial payment, which then they'll release everything when they have all of that for fabrication for our elevator, which will start the clock for us. And then they'll also be able to provide us a more defined timeline once they release everything. They'll be able to update that too periodically, but then we can, on our end, we can start preparing for shifting meetings, what that looks like, alternate access to the facility when the elevator's down, stuff like that. So we're working to start learning and preparing those things. The police department, second level improvements, a little step closer. We re-met with the contractors over there, revised the scope of work. Police department wanted to change a little bit what happens on the upper level. We're finalizing that now, hopefully have a proposal back soon, and then try to move to the board to approve and move forward with those changes. Fire station improvements. So the Iowa Center temporary station, the material abatement project, which is like the initial step. We have to abate any hazardous materials that might exist in the building before we do any construction. That went out to bid as of Sunday, went out to public bid on Sunday. It wasn't advertised in the paper. There's a pre-bid walkthrough this Friday with any contractors. and then a bid opening for that on June 27th. Fire Station 81, plans are completed. We're working to get the bid packet formalized and the advertisement ready, which should go out this week. The anticipated schedule then for fire station projects, which would be the Iowa construction and then Fire Station 81 move out and in to Iowa, and then the construction project of 81. Excuse me. Go out to bid this week. Pre-bid meeting anticipated for June 17th, and that would have a bid opening date of July 1st. So then both of these projects would be, are anticipated to go to the village board for recommendation on approval for July 14th meeting. If approved at that meeting, the abatement would begin about late July, early August at the Iowa Center. Once that's completed, then construction will begin approximately mid to late August. So, and then once the Iowa Center is turned into the temporary station, then the move out of the other station would start and that construction project would begin, so. Fire Station 82, the boiler install was completed over there, so they've received now a new AC system for the inside of the building, as well as a replaced boiler. So that station is great. We're coordinating final inspections over there for this week. Walk through, learn everything, make sure we know it all, close out any permits and stuff like that, hopefully this week. So, Lufkin Park, Lufkin Park continues to see a lot of people every day. So you can probably attest to that over there, Donna. We also are getting rentals each weekend, sometimes multiples each weekend. So it's a pretty awesome park. We still have a few improvements that we're working to complete out at the park. The butterfly gardens still need to be completed. We continue to monitor with some of the heavy rains. We see pathway washouts and stuff like that, so we try to keep up with those and get out there and address those when they happen. We also have some other added pathways and things like that we're looking to install in the new park sign. So we will be back out there shortly. And then we've been discussing the screenings with residents. The steps we're working through to get these done. Their initial notes went out to get their interests, which we did see a lot. And we're now working with Public Works to identify property boundaries. It's kind of I've sent them a few notes just to everyone in the neighborhood, just to let them know that's kind of our next step now. We want to make sure we know what boundaries are and where things are and what we can plant where and everything like that. I was hoping to have met with Public Works this past week, but there were a few conflicts, so I'm hopeful that meeting will happen this week, and then I'll send that note to everyone, which will then, the next step would be to set up a meeting with each house all around Lufkin Park to talk with each home about what we can do, what they're looking for, and how we can coordinate that to happen. So, and I'm hopeful that note I can send out this week to talk with everyone as soon as I talk with Public Works. But then I'll see when I can start coordinating these meetings. But I assume it'll happen over the course of probably a couple of weeks to meet with every home around their schedules. So. Gina mentioned Summerfest is coming up. We are also working to prepare the Prairie Path areas and everything for the fest, cleaning up the landscape beds, fixing up and prepping the gazebo, addressing any other issues as well, materials and equipment. The High Ridge baseball field, we worked coordinated with Villa Park Youth Baseball to complete those improvements out there with Sports Fields was the company that helped us. They did a lot of the edging and work around the infield turf, as well as they added a lot of infield mix, regraded everything, fixed a bunch of stuff up, so it looks really nice. So hopefully hopefully resolves a lot of issues that we've been having out there with some drainage and stuff, but we continue to monitor that. We're also working to coordinate some repairs and improvements to the irrigation system that exists out there, so. Upcoming projects, Lions Park baseball field here. We had our first meeting a week ago with Upland Design to review the initial designs for the field. We had a good conversation. They brought a few things to share with us, which I brought if anyone wants to take a look at the meeting or whatever, if you want to see just kind of the initial designs and stuff that they kind of came up with and things like that. So we had a good back and forth and looking to refine a few things and go over that, but all in all, it's pretty good. And then working to refine the proposals for install playground mulch in the parks. Got a few more than expected, and there was a few things to kind of coordinate, so I'm hopeful that the install will happen in the coming weeks. So that was my updates. I had a few of, I guess, what would have been Greg's. Greg on here, so I can continue.
Please.
Yes, the grant for this facility, the only other thing I guess that he would have updated on was there was one final document, the apprenticeship form from them. It just shows that we met the apprenticeship requirement for this. That was the only piece of paperwork that was holding up us getting that $10 million for this building. So we received that, we submitted it to finance, they have it, and they're working to get everything turned in now for the grant. So I guess I heard too that the money is essentially sitting there to like send right over. So hopefully that happens very shortly, so I'm set to have that. And then here, Lions Park, the project that's happening out back, they're finishing up the gazebo around the back. They were installing the roof and a lot of that. They started installing, looks like they're fairly well through the drainage. So they installed all the under drainage and the playground, out the playground and then across the basketball, or no, sorry, the pickleball court. That ties back into the drain. After they get all that set, they're gonna start setting the sub-base, like for the playground. Once they have that all compacted, then they're gonna put the pour-in-place surface in there. The sport courts, I think their timeline, I think they had paving happening a little bit sooner, but I think they've got paving now anticipated to happen a little bit later than they anticipated, but I'll get an update from them on their schedule so we can make sure it's updated on the village website too. But things still seem to be going pretty well out in the project. So they got a lot of the senior area and stuff done over here, the pergolas and all that stuff. So the site furnishings and things like that should come in soon, start installing all the other things. So it's looking pretty good.
So according to this, we're a little behind schedule of what they had.
Yeah, I mean,
Is that because of weather or just things that came up?
there was a few days of weather, I think that held them up. I think too, like some of the things they started, like the under drainage, I think was on the schedule they initially had to happen at a different time. And I think they just kind of, they've adjusted a little bit, I think. So I'm not exactly sure why they didn't pave yet. I know they had to finish tying in the drainage underneath where they were gonna pave. I'm guessing that'll probably happen soon, but, so yeah, I don't know where they're at as far as the schedule, like if they're behind or not. I'll give for them for the next meeting too, the amount of, like days lost for rain days and things like
Okay.
that. But yeah.
Because they
I'll
had a
try
lot
to
of
update
this,
that.
they were gonna have the work finished by the end of May and then move in from the previous schedule. Like the playground was supposed to be done in May, according to the original schedule, and
Well, like the playground.
is the
structure
fence
itself is
all
done.
installed? Is the fencing all installed, or are we still working on the fences along between the houses and the extra fence that was supposed to be? Is that all installed now?
It's-
Yeah, I don't think.
The cedar fence, I think.
Yeah, the cedar fence is all done, that is all.
Oh, the theater fence is all done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The playground, all the playground equipment is installed and has been done. The drainage is just the next step before they install the base and then the pour-in-place surface.
Okay. So the equipment's in place,
All the equipment is installed.
in place,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, some of the site furnishings I mentioned are like the benches and game tables and stuff like that, trash cans, some of those things that just get bolted down to the concrete spots. So those are things they'll bring in and just kind of bolt down, but I think they're trying to finalize these last few items. So I think the rain and some of the weather held them off a little bit, but they're trying to finish this drainage now, and then once they cover everything up, then they can work everything on top.
Have we got the update on when they're gonna put the basketball and the pickleballs in, or no?
That's
Those
the
courts.
paving.
That would be paving?
That is the
Okay,
paving.
that's part of the paving, is the basketball court and the pickleball?
Yeah, and
Courts.
I'll get an updated timeline from them, and we'll update the village website too, because I see a few things in looking at what they've done and what that initial schedule was, that are, they've done a few first before they're doing a few others, so I'll just have them updated.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Donna?
When you do the rentals, do they rent half of that gazebo at Lufkin? Or is it is it a certain price for the entire thing, or a half?
Like the rentals at Lufkin?
Yeah,
So if they rent that, they are entitled to that shelter space. So we have.
so
a
the
permit-
whole entire thing.
The shelter itself, yeah. Shelters and every, tables and everything like that.
Have there been any incidents where, like, people rent it for a party and they don't have enough tables for other ongoing people there?
So I have.
I mean, I think everyone would be courteous enough to open up a table, but I just wondered if that's,
I haven't received any of those comments back from any of our rentals, or like received a call or a complaint from a day that there was a rental. We try to have, there's extra tables outside of just the shelter
Right.
space, so there are a few extra seating areas. There's a couple benches out there too. But
were they
yeah.
ever gonna get like a sunscreen too, like the triangular thing that was on poles? Wasn't that a thought at one time?
For-
Like a shade?
I think it was initially maybe discussed, but yeah, we don't currently have one planned.
And I seen DuPage out, I don't know if they were taking out sticks or putting more in or what. Are they supposed to take those out, or did the flowers not take, or?
The county was on the contractor for the maintenance of that pond and the native areas for the first 3 years. So I don't know their schedule. I think they go out and try to do the maintenance that's needed to kind of move that along, so.
And then what do you think was the percentage of people that wanted barriers versus non-barriers at Lufkin?
Like just planted screenings you're talking?
Yeah.
I think there was about 30 homes around Lufkin, and I think roughly 25 of the homes said yes to the screenings.
Wow.
So, yeah, I don't, when you say barrier, I don't know that we're not gonna
No,
block
it-
off
yeah.
completely somebody's property, but we'll get something installed that makes sense for both the village and the residents, so.
Okay. That's it.
When they do the rental at the park is still open to the public, correct? So the splash pad and all that stuff is still open, combined to what's going on, right? Okay.
Correct.
Because I kind of thought, from what I've seen, that we still have the public playing in their parks and doing everything else. It's just, so are they just renting, basically, they're just renting the
Shelter.
shelter, right? When they do it, it's just the shelter rental.
Correct.
Park is still open for the, okay. Just like they would at any other of our, it's the shelter, they're open, not the grounds. Okay, that's what I was curious. Any other questions for
No,
Ryan?
thanks.
Do we have any unfinished business that we know of? New business, I would like to keep an update on our new director, on where it's at when you get information. So I would like to put that on the new business on where we're, we're hiring or what's going on?
The
I know
advertise-
that's gonna be on the board agenda, but just kind of so we have an update too on where we're at with,
I believe the position was advertised through IPRA beginning a week ago Monday. I think that was the first day it was listed.
Yeah, it was early June.
Yeah, so it's June 2nd, maybe?
Yeah, sounds right.
I think, yeah, I think it was that Monday.
any other new business that you,
No, thanks.
okay? When, Gina, do you know when does wish list comes out for the your departments, you know? When that actually comes out
Budgeting?
for the new,
Well, we actually
Start for
talked
the new-
about starting the budgeting process a little sooner rather than later. I think we want to try to start it a little bit earlier this year, so.
because I
I
know
would
that
say
was something.
during the
we could-
summer.
Okay, because I know that's something else we want to add on the new business is your wish list and what you have in mind that we need to move forward for 2026 or 2027, what you have, so we have some idea what you're looking to go forward on. And then, Brian, are there any updates we need to know about the building that they have? Now that the building's been open for a while, is all the maintenance and everything on schedule and that all set?
It seems to all be going good, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, are we on schedule for, because I know you have a schedule of it now
All
that the
seems
building's
good.
been,
Yeah, we were just talking, I think we're up for, we replacing like rooftop unit filters and just going through the routine things and stuff like that, so they've been replaced, I think, once or twice. Usually when you start up the facility, all the dust and things that are in here, you replace them after like a week, and then you put them in, and then it's about a month later, and then it goes for a few months, so we're at that next stage of replacement, but, yeah, it's been good. We're still finding things, you know, there's always a little thing or something that you find, but I don't know that there's been anything major or overly concerning. I think it's just been some wear and tear stuff, so.
okay? Because I think that'd be on our list. Keep going, this is to update on our beautiful building that nothing needs to be mentioned or taken care of for some reason. That will probably be on our unfinished business for a while, that we'll keep an update on. Same thing with your program schedule, is, I take the summer, brochures we're going through, when are we looking for fall? I know
We
that-
actually will be doing a first proof before it goes to the designer this week, tomorrow. The fall.
When did they give you the estimated baseline for the budget?
I'm not sure if I understand your question.
Like, you know what you get budgeted, like, you know, what you've had for a budget for the last X amount of years. Do you usually start your budget and your process of thought with what you've had in the past? And when does the manager actually give you the dollar amount of, this is what you can spend?
Well, this is new because of this building. We have new codes that where we budget funds. Some are in recreation and in parks, and then some are part of the building. So we're in, you know, the information that we're gathering in these first 5 months, I mean, I wasn't crazy about moving into the new building and, you know, opening up on January 3rd, but it was so nice to have that to be at, you know, the fiscal year is January 1st. So, you know, we can use, however far along we are, probably a good 7 or 8 months to use for, you know, our thoughts for next year.
So start grinding in like September.
Yes. It probably a little bit sooner than that.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Gina, did you say the budget's split in three now? So
We have a-
this is a budget, the rec center's a separate budget, and then you've got one for parks, and then we've got one for rec. Is that what you're
Correct.
saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
and pools. Pools is separate too.
Pools are separate, so there's actually, okay.
Pools, rec, parks, buildings, grounds. But in terms of the budget for this department, it would be recreation.
Is all under
buildings.
one?
Yeah.
Correct,
No,
okay.
no, the recreation buildings is separate from the other buildings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the buildings, the recreation buildings are separate, okay. So basically, the recreation, it's considered programs, and then the buildings are separate. And the pool, I know, has a separate one, and then,
And then this building is
then
separate.
this one would be separate too, okay. Separate from the other, it's not under the recreation buildings, our other buildings? This building's gonna have separate thing of
Like
itself.
Twin Lakes or North Terrace, those are still recreation buildings, they're just don't fall under the same budget as this one.
Right, so this building has one of its own, is what you're
Yes.
saying? Okay. Yeah, I got that. I'm just trying to figure out the center is separate from the other recreation buildings that we have in there.
Correct.
Okay.
And
How
all the
would-
other recreation buildings are together.
Correct.
Correct, they're under one budget, okay. How is our garden plots going? I forgot to ask you that. Pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Maxed out at 35,
maxed
I
out
think.
at 35, and people are happy, I take it with it. I drive by and look, but
I haven't heard anything to the contrary. I ran into one of the people who had a plot, not last year, but the year before, because she got mad because she grew, I can't remember what, maybe it was cabbages, and someone, right before she was gonna, take them and cook with them, someone stole them.
somebody stole them.
Someone stole her cabbage. Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, especially when, you're doing the work. But yes, people like the being able to garden there. The water works out well for them, and we sold out pretty quickly. It's ideal for people that, don't have a yard.
All right, anything else we can add to new business, Mike?
No,
Okay, commissioners' comments? Mike, do you have anything you want to?
Just happy people are enjoying this facility, so. And, hope everyone continues enjoying the summer.
Good to hear. Donna?
I have nothing, thank you.
Sam?
No comment.
Okay. I do not have any comment tonight either. Summer's been going nice. We've been, knock on wood, been lucky with the weather that so far I'm not seeing the pool is too cold or too hot right now. I don't know if that's normal at this time, but it seems to be perfect weather.
Brian and his team worked really hard to get the water temperature up over 80. I mean, we had some cold nights leading up to that Memorial Day weekend, and, right before that weekend, 65, I think, was as high as we hit. And I think that weekend, it went up to 75. But now, we have a text group for the pool, and a couple times a day, I get an update on, the chlorine level and the pH and the water temperature and the attendance. And the water temperature, I think the lowest it's been during the day is 80, 81. And then it probably has gone up to about 83, I think. So that's
Much too cold for me.
too cold?
It's got to be 90.
Gotta be 90?
Like hot tubs.
That's too warm.
We were actually looking at recommended, what is the recommended temperature that the water can't get too cold for people to swim and be safe. They actually have recommendations for that. So we were a little concerned about that going into Memorial Day weekend. But 75 for recreational swimmers is about as cold as it should be. It does affect people being able to catch their breath, even if their head is above water, because of the coldness, and you tense up and your muscles, you know. So we got it to 75, and it's gone up since then, so that's good news. And great work by Brian's team to be able to do that. They had some significant challenges leading up to that, and
Those were multiple days the week before, I think, where the lows were in like the low 40s.
yeah.
Wow,
It's very
tough to
hard.
get the pool twice as hot as that, so.
yeah.
Plus, it rained, and the rain is cold, so when you add rain to the pool, that brings the temperature down as well, so. But they-
Are there any
they
like
did it.
solar discs or anything available? I know the solar covers are a pain to drag out, but are there any like discs
I don't
that they
know.
can put in?
I'm not sure. They have a liquid solar cover now.
Oh,
I don't know how, I haven't used it. I don't know if it would've worked this early into the season. Usually they're pretty good for getting you through the season once you have the pools kind of warmed up and stuff, but.
Village Board of Liaison, do you have any comments tonight?
No, well, yes. The position for the director is open, I'm just, whatever. And then for the open position, I think you just have one, right, for Christine Murphy. Any inquiries should go to the village president. That's like what he does. Other than that, looking forward to Concert in the Park. Again, that was awesome last week. That was really, that was, I mean, I was there, and I took my daughter with me, and she's like, well, if none of my friends are there, I'm just gonna go home. We ended up staying essentially the whole time, because she had a bunch of friends everywhere. So it was a good time. Other than that, that's it. That's all I have.
I think that was one of the bigger crowds I've seen.
yeah. There were people sitting on the steps of the old post office.
I always sit on the post office steps. That's
Yep.
usually my spot.
Well, there
Every
was
year.
quite a few people there last week, because, you know, the park itself really filled in. We ran out of ice
We
cream
have-
sandwiches, sorry.
Yeah, we have a group of us that sit on the park, on the old post office steps. Usual people I see, so that's our spot.
Okay, but I think you had other people there than what you
Well,
normally-
I sat in the park this time because of Greg's get-together and whatever it was, so. But yes, I think it's expanding. I do believe we're expanding out to the corners. Any staff comments, Jean?
No, no staff
Brian?
comments for me.
Also, no comments, thanks.
Okay. Look for an adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Michael seconds. Any opposed? Oh, all right, meeting adjourned
Oh, I
at
thought,
7:54.
7:50.